Excellent. Welcome, everybody. Melanie Nelson here, Director of TLS. And I think that starting the program, how do we often feel when we start TLS or our TLS lifestyle? Well, we feel motivated and inspired, maybe by somebody else's success, right? Or we just got the, feels around it. And then there's the irritated, like enough is enough, right? Something happened that you just went, that's it, that's enough, making changes, doing this thing. And both can be highly effective. I think that honestly, the enough is probably more effective. At least it was for me, because that was a huge part of my weight loss journey, was having one of those enough is enough moments. Now, as we know, when we struggle with weight, it's a process, right? And when we're looking to recover our health and really become more vital, it's a process, right? And so one of the things that, we're really overcoming on a pretty consistent basis is the emotional obstacles around starting or restarting, right? How many of you can relate to that? So what happens? So, I mean, we're feeling like, oh, it's not right timing to start. How many of you have ever said that, right? It's just not right timing. There's just too much going on. It's summer, right? Perfect time to be like, man, not a good time to start, right? Beers and barbecues and family vacations. But guess what? Last night, I was on a TLS group call. There was some coaches in Wisconsin that had asked me to do a pop-in with their group. And you know what? They're doing a 13-week program through the summer. I mean, talk about, making it happen. Now, one of my messages was, obviously, this is a challenging time. Family vacations, barbecues, all kinds of, the county fair, the state fair, whatever's going on. And there's all these temptations. But guess what? Isn't there always, like, come on, you guys, yeah, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. I mean, that's like a 3-month span, right? I mean, summer's a 3-month span. Basically, if we always succumb to this, the timing isn't right, we're never going to get there. And there's another emotion that comes up that maybe some of you can relate to, and that is indifference. Why bother? Right? Just, I don't even want to. Why bother? Anybody relate to that one? Yeah, I've been there a couple times. Like, I just, sit on the couch and overeat and don't care, right? I mean, it's for real, you guys. And so it's just something to be aware of. It can be a reason why we don't start or restart our journey to our healthiest, most powerful self, right? These feelings, I feel, are really a mask for when we say it's not right timing or we feel indifferent and unmotivated. I feel like it's a mask for some fears. And those fears are things like, I don't want to fail, or I don't want to fail again, right? Nobody likes failing. And, it's like letting people know you're going to do something, right? And then not following through is not a good feeling. And so then we make the mistake of making our goals secret, and then we start, but we don't tell anyone. And that doesn't work either. So there's this fear of failure that can often hold us back from starting or restarting our program. And that's something, again, that can be really powerful to be aware of. I think also is, what if it doesn't work, right? And that's for those of you who've never tried TLS. Anybody who's really done TLS knows it works. It totally works. It's the best thing ever. But if you've never tried us and you've never tried our program and our products and really engaged in our lifestyle, what if it doesn't work? Another thing that didn't work for me, and then there's this feeling of like, maybe something is wrong with me. Maybe I'm not, there's something not right with me, and this is just how I'm going to be, right? There's another fear that I feel people have, and that is not executing it perfectly. Well, it's not the right time, because this is the part that, doesn't get said, right? Is because I can't execute it perfectly during this time frame. I cannot be 100% in. Well, I can guarantee you that even if you feel like you're going to be 100% in, there's going to be something that's going to take you off onto the sidelines or a little off track here and there. It just happens. And so one of the messages that I have consistently in TLS and just in life, when you want to go succeed at something, that perfection is never the goal, even though that's some of our makeup, right? For those of you who are like me, my name is Melanie Nelson. I am a recovering perfectionist. Yes, perfectionism held me back from doing a lot of things because if I couldn't do it 100%, if I couldn't do it perfectly, I wouldn't do it at all. And that doesn't move me forward in life. That doesn't move you forward in life. And so what I've learned is that progress is perfection, and that taking those incremental steps is actually good enough, right? And then this all comes back down to these really uncomfortable feelings of I'm good enough and I'm worthy, and you are. Right? Because all fears are based in I'm not safe, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy. And these are things that come into play as excuses and feelings like it's not the right timing. Right? And I say that because I can't even count how many times I've said that. So we've all done it. And when we understand that that TLS is a lifestyle, and that you can't fail at a lifestyle, you can take a deep breath and just go every day, right? Every day making choices, making better choices, one day at a time. Because guess what? Newsflash, no one's perfect. No one lives the TLS lifestyle perfectly. The goal is that you're living the lifestyle. Now, how do we overcome these feelings? Because I think for the vast majority of people, we're really operating they're operating on a subconscious level, and we're not really truly aware of them. And so they're controlling what we do as a result. And what I mean by that is when the alarm goes off for you to go work out and you say to yourself, oh, I don't feel like it. And you roll over and you hit the snooze and you don't end up going to go exercise or work out. Guess what? You just let your feelings dictate your actions, and then accordingly your results. And so when you're like, oh, I don't really want to have another salad. But if you did make one and you did eat one, you'd be grateful after. You'd be like, oh my goodness, this was so good. I'm so glad, da, da, da. And, but when we don't, we again succumb to the action of having something else, right? Crackers, cheese, sausage, whatever it is, whatever the thing is, right? I'm in northern Minnesota right now. That's like a popular snack / meal. Anyway, we have these feelings that when we become aware of them, we can make another choice. And so step number 1 is becoming aware. So no longer operating on that subconscious level, having them dictate your actions, and because that's really what got us to the point we're at, truly. And when we do step 1 of becoming aware, then we can make that different choice. And that choice could be leading us to better or results we actually desire. Now, when we say things like, I felt, or I feel like, not say things, but feel things like loneliness, and we turn to food, right? We may not become aware of that until after the fact of going, hey, you know what? Last night I was feeling pretty sad and lonely, so I had a late night snack of fill in the blank. And that's something that you may become aware of after. And you go, oh, yeah, wow. Okay. So definitely eating emotionally. Sometimes it's stress. Sometimes it's sadness and loneliness. Sometimes it's super duper happiness, right? Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to do with all this happiness. So, right? I mean, I'm speaking from my own personal story here a little bit, but you guys, what I'm saying is that just because you're listening in here this morning doesn't mean that tomorrow and today you're suddenly hyper aware of everything and making all the right choices. I am going to say that if you focus on this work, that you will become aware first after the fact. Then you'll become aware during the fact. So you're like, oh my gosh, look what I'm doing. Oh, right. And look at me hitting the alarm saying snooze because I don't feel like it. Oh, that's not a good feeling. Oh, I'm becoming aware of this. Painful, kind of uncomfortable and painful. But then what happens is, if you continue this work, is suddenly you become aware and you make that different choice. You make it. And then that becomes a habit. And you make it again and again and again. So that first key is awareness to understanding that feelings are fleeting, right? If we did everything we always felt like or not felt like, I mean, we certainly wouldn't be where we are today. So we do have some emotional control, don't we? Because we probably, if you're married, you probably wouldn't be married. You have, if you have a boss and a job, you probably wouldn't have that anymore either, right? I mean, we do have the ability, you have the ability to become aware and make different choices, or to say, no, that needs to be sidelined. And one of the other things that I think is really important is to acknowledge. So when it comes to starting or restarting, and we say things like in our head, it's not the right timing. I don't know if I feel like it, why bother? Knowing that deeper down is some fear of imperfection or failure, or not working, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy. That when we become aware of that, we can acknowledge it, because there's a part of us that just needs to be validated and acknowledged and said, like, hey, it's okay. It's okay you feel that way. It's, that's okay. And then make another choice. Right? So, you can kind of give yourself the proverbial comforting pat on the back and just say, it's going to be okay. And then move forward with a healthier action. And that's how we create a new lifestyle. That's how we create a new experience of life. And that's true in everything, not just weight loss. Whether you're building a business, you're building a marriage and a family, it really doesn't matter what you're building. You're going to need to overcome these emotional obstacles of starting or restarting. And here's the thing, again, TLS is a lifestyle, and you can't fail at a lifestyle. So for many of you, if you feel like you're restarting, sometimes that can be more difficult. And so it's really understanding that it isn't actually starting again. You have so much more experience and knowledge than you did when you first started. It's not going to be the same this time. It's going to be better. And that, this is a process of creating those healthy habits. And great news, we have somebody that I feel is absolutely an expert in creating healthy habits, joining us in our next official TLS Zoom that we do monthly. So we do these monthly. We just did one on digestive health. If you didn't catch it, it should be down below if you search. The one that's coming up is Wednesday, September 1st at 9 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to be talking about the process of creating these healthy habits so things become a lifestyle. It's, we're creatures of habit. And so it can be difficult to create new ones when we already have these other ones in place. And so someone near and dear to my heart who I have become close with in the last 4 years has been on a weight loss journey with TLS for 3 years. She has lost over 215 pounds now with TLS and following the TLS principles. And she's going to be joining us, sharing her powerful story of transformation, and really the mechanisms behind what she had to do to recreate into this person who lives a healthy lifestyle. And her name is Erin, and many of you know her and have seen her because, like I said, she's been on her transformational journey for a few years now, and she's doing amazing. And if you haven't seen her lately, you wouldn't recognize her. She looks so fabulous. We can't wait for her to share with you guys her strategies, her obstacles, how she overcame them. You guys, it's Wednesday, September 1st. We'll see you on that Zoom. And as always, TLS Tuesdays. Thanks for joining us, and keep joining us, and share away, because sharing is caring. Thanks, everyone. Have a good one.